Good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful evening out there. I'm doing pretty good. Getting better every day. You know, I was thinking about when I was in the 6th grade. I remember that it was really weird because the math doesn't quite math right, but when I was in the 6th grade, the Vietnam War had ended. But they said it was 1975, but I think that would have been 1972 for me. But no, I remember talking about it in class about the Vietnam War ending. And another strange date issue in my memory from childhood was that segregation was ending. But then when you look at the records, it says, well, the civil rights movement was in 1964, but it didn't end segregation. No, it didn't. It took eons, even in some cases today. You know, we're still dealing with this kind of behavior. And there's just no rhyme or reason for it. It's just like, haven't we evolved as a species long enough to stop doing that? Well, I believe that there is there's always been in society, maybe it's probably coming from government, but there's always been this segregation by groups, right? And it's very evil, and it always keeps people, you know, separated instead of together. Now we can go to church and we can learn and study and, you know, make our own decisions. But then, you know, if you decide to go against the norm, then all of a sudden you're judged and stereotyped, you know? It's almost like there's no safe place to go in society, because if you have your own mind and you think, you know, the way you know in your heart is right, and somebody else is going to come along and judge you. Now, when I was a kid, it wasn't just the white people segregating the black people. Blacks also did it because, you know, for their comfort level, you know, and it just took eons of time to get all that worked out. It's really sad too. And being raised in the South, I remember having really strong feelings about prejudice and not understanding, you know, that at all. It never resonated with me. And I remember having resentful feelings because I knew in my heart it was wrong. It was probably one of the things that my parents, you know, didn't like, because I just couldn't go along with that. And it wasn't just blacks either. It was Hispanics too. And it just, you know, something was wrong with that. I knew it in my heart that something was wrong with that. But I think that right now, more than ever in our history, not just of our country, but even the whole entire world, that we need to start waking up our minds to these groups and segregation and stereotypes, because we are not serving ourselves by having those. Now, it doesn't, I mean, this is just perceived information. It doesn't mean that it's correct, right? It's just things that people have said over such a long period of time that everybody starts believing things as fact when they're really not, okay? I'm going to read you some stereotypes. Some of them I didn't even know that they were stereotypes. Okay, here we go. This article that I'm going to look at says 15 stereotypes or negative stereotypes in society. Okay. This one's kind of funny to me. Okay, you ready? Mexicans are lazy. I've got another one. Indians, they're all alcoholics. Okay, here's another one. Black women are angry. What do you think of that one? Didn't know that. Are you guys always angry? I bet you're not. Okay, let's see. Asians are bad drivers. I've never been to an Asian country, but I know that they've got an immense population, and they probably are mad drivers, but they're probably good at being mad drivers, as any metropolis probably is, right? But when you're coming in there from someplace else, it's going to freak you out because you're not used to that. Poor people are lazy. Poor people, are you all lazy out there? Okay, let's find another one. Oh, the dumb blonde stereotype. You know, the mom that raised me, she always said I had blonde roots. I mean, I'm a brunette, as you can see. And, you know, as I got older and started getting a few grays, I decided to go blonde. But maybe that was influence when my mom said, I think you've got blonde roots. Why? Probably because I don't go along with the group. I'm not a group follower, you know, per se. I'm an independent thinker, which I really want to inspire more people to be independent thinkers, okay? I mean, as I even say this, I feel like, oh, that is an epiphany. Independent thinkers. That's what I want to start, a group of independent thinkers. Okay, well, I'm here to tell you that, I mean, I should have had a list of blondes. Maybe at certain points I will do a segment on each stereotype and dig deeper into it, but this is just kind of an overview. All right, let's find another one. Rich people are heartless. Are you heartless? Now, nowadays, that could actually be a pertinent thing because we're in such a industrial, well, it's not industrial boom, maybe I would say, of technology. And if you listen to YouTube all the time, it is all about making money, man. And if you ain't doing it, then you ain't keeping up, okay? Which, you know, there's some truth to that. However, I don't think rich people are generally heartless. Some, they think they're better than the poor. Let's just be honest, okay? We don't need to be lying on here. Okay, so rich people, while they are not all heartless, some of them really do think that they're better than other people. Okay, that's a fact. Okay, here we go. The passive woman stereotype, that women are passive. I don't think so. The macho man. Okay, that good-looking men are macho. Okay, now wait a minute. They told me there was 15, and some of these are getting a little objective. Okay, well, I wrote down a few, and I'm going to do more because I really think this is a huge problem in our country and the world. Okay. Oh, there was one there that said French people do not like Americans, and they probably don't. But every time when I went to France, they were really nice to me. But maybe down deep inside, they're like thinking that we were, you know, low vibrational, you know, sloppy people or something. But until recently, they probably liked us a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Okay, a pretty woman, even someone that's a little bit sexy, must be a prostitute. Ooh, that's a big one, isn't it? So if you were to, especially in Utah, if you wear a tank top, oh, you got to be a prostitute. Something's wrong with you if you're wearing tank tops in a Mormon, you know, group, because, you know, you have to wear garments and they come down to here, and and fine, you know, I mean, they can believe what they want to, but I don't think my shoulders, or bearing my shoulders, is going to, you know, pin me as a prostitute. Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on. Let's see. Handsome men always cheat on their wives. Is that true? I mean, I don't know. In my world, it kind of is true. But then again, I, for whatever reason, am just learning how to stop attracting toxic men. So in some cases, for me, it seems to be relatively true for the most part. So anyhow, moving on. But I don't think that good-looking men always cheat on their wives. Pierce Brosnan, how about you? I think he really loves his partner. Never heard a scandal on him. Okay, he's pretty gorgeous man. Okay, here we go. Okay, when it comes to religion, oh well, I wish I had a full religious thing, but I'm just going to say it on my behalf. Psychics or spiritualists are devil worshippers and practice black magic. What do you think about that? Do you think that psychics and spiritualists, all of them, are, you know, Diablo? They're all worshiping the devil? Do you think that spiritualists and psychics believe in God and life after death? I bet you they do. Probably more than just the average person they do. Okay, we believe in life after death. We believe in a divine creator. Okay, moving on. If a woman leaves her husband, she did it because she has another man. She's cheating. So if a man or a woman leave their current spouse, it is entirely because they're going to someone else. Okay? Not true. There's, you know, no, not even close. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. All rock music is demonic. All rock singers worship the devil. Every song, every rock song. And I believe that there's some truth to, in the old days when there was rock music, that they would have maybe some subliminal demonic messages in them. And true, I think that there's probably a lot of rap music that's very demonic and very hateful and, you know, that brings your spirit down and makes you angry. So, you know, it's possible that that's true, but I don't think that rock music or rap necessarily in and of itself have anything to do with the devil. You know, people are artists, they create, you know, and each one of us are children of our creator, you know, and don't always, I mean, it doesn't mean automatically that something is that way just because you're religious that it must be evil. And that is my point. Okay. Now, some people think that all white people are prejudiced for some reason. I mean, maybe not all, but there's that underlying feeling. And then I wonder if the black people or Mexican or Hispanic or Asians, you know, if they think that we're all worried about what they're doing and that we hate them because we don't. That's not true. It isn't for me. I don't think of it that way. You know, as someone that really has, you know, an ability to look outside the box, it's really important to look at somebody as a human being before you judge them. Look at their, and also another thing too is look at the society that they're in and maybe what led up to them behaving a way that they did or not realizing the own light in their life because society or where they're living has taught them and trained them over a long period of time to see themselves and to behave in a certain way. Another stereotype that really bothers me in this world is the domination of men over women. I know that's a hot topic. And I'm not suggesting that, you know, we should all be feminists and, you know, and fight. There should be a balance of power in that structure, right? Because no men are going to be born without that woman. She's pretty powerful. And so, am I even recording? recording. No, I am recording. That would be a shame, wouldn't it? Okay. I am ever so concerned on a worldwide scale of the injustice toward women and children, girls, in certain countries. Oh, okay, if I'm going to get riled up about something, oh, I could get riled up about that. Definitely. And so, and I'm worried about religion that also, I mean, I'm not against having a patriarch and a matriarch and the children and but I think it's critical. You know, my son's calling me. Gosh, I wish I knew how to put this on pause. Maybe this will, okay.